Last reaction we finna end stream. What time on Saturday? When that episode probably I'll stream it like on Saturday. I'll stream at 5. So we'll do a bit early. But chat, last reaction before end the stream, Tommy G.
What does it mean to
inside a Jacksonville police drug raid? Hold on, chat, let me close my rivals.
Try to keep our community safe. We'll do whatever it takes to enforce the law and take drugs.
Oh, this tough.
Right here.
Yep, it's that one. Should be second block on the right.
Round.
A real. Oh, it's fire! Yo! Well, I've been here the whole time, but yeah, that's search warrant. Mason, no it ain't. Mason, W Naruto birthday cake, chat.
120 on a Saturday, and we're responding
Chat,
to the scene.
I honestly might have watched this before Maury's watched this. So this might be, I might actually have cooked here, because Maury always watches these straight away. Oh shit. It's actually getting okay deep. Yo, family. Chat, Maury always the first one to like react to this shit, like watch this shit. Like
what you just witnessed was an operation from Jacksonville's undercover narcotics unit raiding the house of a suspected drug dealer. You also just saw a snippet of their overdose team investigating a drug-induced death to see if there's a drug dealer that they need to find and charge with a homicide. Currently, Jacksonville law enforcement is receiving nationwide attention for things like cutting their county's homicide rate in half over a 1-year period and employing state-of-the-art crime-fighting technology. For a few days, me and the boys embedded with Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to see their methods in action. This video is part 1 of a 3-part series we are releasing, with part 1 focusing on how Jacksonville fights drug-related crime, and for part 2 we will be on a night patrol with cops and K9 units, and for part 3 we will be looking into how their SWAT team and gang task force tackles murders and gang violence. This, folks, is unprecedented access that we are proud to bring to you. Let's get to it.
Chat, they cut down crime by 50%. Am I tripping?
Folks,
how? In America? How?
Drug raid. There's a drug task force here in Jacksonville that is really trying to crack
Andrew
down
Tate?
on fentanyl. And
that's why, that's how they did it.
Community. This is a blood pumping type of experience. This is something where you breach a door and someone resists. There could be shots fired. You might have to bring in SWAT. You might have to, I mean, it's a high pressure
SWAT
job.
team low-key fire though, chat, no? As a kid, you don't want to be part of the SWAT team?
Undercover officers worked and where their top secret operations were planned. So we were instructed to keep the cameras low until it was time to move out on this raid.
So I'm Lieutenant Manna with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Narcotics Unit. I'm over narcotics and vice.
And what's the operation today? What are we looking for?
Today we have a search warrant for a drug house. We conducted
drug house, let's go! Not the drug house, just the fact that this is where they're starting off.
We are going to it's on the west side of town.
Is there a particular...
Chat, anybody good at GeoGuessr? Can they find out where this is?
We conducted several buys. We bought crack cocaine from there.
How many drug raids
they've already bought on your day? Drugs from there.
2 or 3 a week.
Do we know if the guy living here?
Chat, I thought police can't do drugs. Get it?
Has many firearms?
We haven't seen
it.
I'm
sorry.
So the guys, the job they do is very dangerous, especially the first person inside the property, because you just don't know what's behind the closed doors.
You'll see it in a second, chat, for the GeoGuessrs in chat. You'll see it in a second. Chat, we know it's in Miami. We know that.
We'll draw straws as a crew.
All right, let's go.
What does it mean to you to be taking drugs off the street?
It means a lot. We try to keep our community safe, and obviously
this is a major W, though, no?
Supply versus demand, but we'll do whatever it takes.
Nah, Swift is confirmed Florida. Confirmed Miami.
Do you think you'll ever completely wipe drugs off the street?
Chat, I want to go to a shooting range. Chat, I want to go to a shooting range so bad.
You can wipe it off completely because there are some, for instance, marijuana is legal in certain states. It's a very tough challenge. Again, it's a vicious circle.
Where is this camera angle? Bro, looks so cinematic. Chat, why can't I see every single one of his paws on his face? Damn. W camera. Fucking hell, bro. Camera, shark-esque camera, the fucking quality, bro.
Where's that guy going right there? He's going in.
Oh shit, chat's kicking off.
Okay, yep, we're gonna take him too.
It's right here.
Yep, it's that one. Should be second block on the right.
You know, always Mason, honestly, bro, celebrate
Door
chat.
is
Always
much
celebrate
the-
time with family and friends before you go to
Hey, watch this car. Watch this
Okay,
car.
we're just going right into it. Damn. That's a goofy out run. I'm eating. I almost forgot I had crisps.
Sheriff's office, search warrant.
Try salt and vinegar crisp. Let's go.
There's somebody running in the back.
It's the fancy Tesco one.
Two gray jacket, black
Jack's
pants, another one.
sea salt and Chardonnay vinegar.
They ran out of the apartment complex.
Stop running!
Oh shit!
I got one. The other one with the gray hoodie, I don't know where he went.
Stop running! 4-5 on Mike's foot into the back.
Chat, is it just me? Or if I'm ever gonna get chased by the police, the second I ever hear them say dogs or weapons or some shit, I'm just giving up, bro. You know what, chat? That's it for me. All cops bald. So, chat, does that mean I'm a cop? Psych, I'm not bald.
You got one of the page cars still around. You got high road.
Yes, I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not. I mean, chat. Yo, chat. This guy is not. This guy right here is not out running a canine, bro. Yo, this is literally Shark, bro. What the fuck? Yo, is that Shark? Bro! Yo! This might actually be Shark! Nah, chat. Now I know why he just goes out randomly out the country.
Under your handcuffs? Right. Loosen. I can fit a finger in between there, buddy. That's kind of what we got to do.
Hi, y'all ready? So, in this case, we got a bunch of crack cocaine. We have a lot of powder cocaine. We got some beakers, a bunch of drug paraphernalia, scales. So obviously, we got to say that was successful.
Is crack cocaine as
Chat, I think they're doing drugs.
common as it was in early 2000s?
It still is, I would say, crack cocaine, yeah.
How would you classify this bust? Small, medium, large?
Probably a medium scale to small, small to medium.
I'd probably say medium.
People in custody.
So far, 3. And obviously, we have a baby now, so we're trying to get hold of the mother. Apparently, she's at work, so she'll
Well,
be
there was a
coming
baby
back.
there. What the
What goes
fuck?
through your head when you see a baby inside one of those houses?
You won't be the first. A lot of times, so we we hold the baby, we assist, and then what we do is trying to reunite the baby with the parents. And apparently, that's the father,
Right.
who's the mother, is at work. Since the father is going to be arrested, then the mother will respond to take control of her child.
Do they feel like, I'm glad that this is happening, that they got busted?
Absolutely, absolutely. We get feedback all the time. They don't like these guys. They don't want them here in their neighborhoods.
'Cause they
Yo,
make
this
them
comes from
dangerous.
W, chat.
Yeah, they don't want drugs in their neighborhoods.
In the last year, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has fielded over 5,000 calls for service for drug-related incidents. And in a 2024
That's
survey
crazy.
of Jacksonville
A stall full
residents,
of milk
next
is
to
good.
gun violence, illegal drug
I don't
usage
think that's
was
milk
the
for
top
me.
issue residents wanted the Sheriff's Office to focus their resources on.
A lot of times they are afraid, and the ones
Salt
they
and vinegar
step up,
crisps
they give
on
us
top, bro.
complaints and information. We won't every
Mason22003135 says
complaint
there
that
was
we
a
get.
case where
I
the
mean,
baby
to live in a
accidentally
place
like
where,
touched his
you
mum's
know,
cocaine.
dangerous guys with guns are in
Yeah,
and
but that's
out all the
cold.
time, and junkies are coming, and you have kids around here,
And this is just the preliminary search. Obviously, they go into details to search the property.
People will die. Babies will die. Dogs will die. Your grandma will die. Your mother will die. Your father will die. You will die. But there's one thing, chat. God is there for you the entire time. If you've lived a good life and a righteous life, you will go to heaven. If you lived a life separate from God, you will sadly go to hell. So, just remember that, chat. God is always there, watching you, helping
And,
you,
typically on
assisting you.
secondary search, they find additional drug paraphernalia and additional drugs.
Chat, it's just for me, when I see babies without the drugs and shit, it's like, Just why mix them up, bro?
Our
Both are
overdose
white.
deaths
Milk
down
is milk, and Astolfo have the best kind.
year over year here.
This is Vic Michelucci. Previously, he was a Jacksonville investigative journalist who won Crime Reporter of the Year. He left his 14-year career to run communications and media for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, and he is the one that opened up the doors for us to be here today.
Fewer people are dying.
And this is just one
W,
part
man.
of that
Chat. This guy's a W.
initiative
Yeah,
or
this
that
is a
push.
part of that.
Yeah.
But as you saw with that situation,
Chat.
not only
Vaping
did they
and
find
cigarettes are literally the same.
drugs,
If
they found
chat,
at least one.
I would never date a woman who vapes, bro. Hell nah. Chat. If a woman vapes, I can't date her. Like, nah. You're telling me you're addicted to a fucking stick? Like, how? To a metal stick that gives you air, like, and kills you? No. I want Kuntigami in bed. I don't know who Kuntigami is, chat.
And a lot of times when you see drug sales, you see firearms, and that leads to violence.
The
It's all
murder that
interconnected,
comes
bro.
with the marijuana trade. I'm gonna tell you, I've worked murders where
This guy got aura, chat. This guy got aura.
and people get killed for it. It may not seem like a big deal to the populace or to people that are advocates for marijuana, but that's a big deal. One life, I always say to everybody, is too many.
Look, there was that kid in there. I mean, that kid was, what, maybe 1?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any excuse for that.
Yeah, there's no excuse for the
Doing
kids,
drugs,
chat.
Doing drugs around people that are doing drugs to expose that child there. And we've had multiple issues of accidental overdoses with kids. And we've put that out, and thankfully
Overdoses
the most
in kids,
recent
bro. That's
instances are officers
insane.
were able
The
to
chat.
save those kids.
The fact he has to
Imagine
say
having to
that,
give
bro.
Narcan.
Nah, don't show me a video, bro.
An armed crack.
That gonna make me
But
sad as
Jacksonville's
fuck.
war on drugs has another side to it, the Overdose Task Force. Whether we'd meet them, this trip depended on one thing, an overdose happening while we were in town. Early Saturday afternoon, that call came in.
I mean, Mason, you'll see it in Discord. But Mason, I never knew your birthday was this Saturday. I thought it
You've
was.
been in Jacksonville for when an overdose happens. We're
next
gonna get
week.
the call. Unfortunately, it's 1:20 on a Saturday, and we're responding to the scene of an overdose. This is hard to walk into.
Oh, so this. Chat. Okay,
you're
listen,
walking-
chat. Harsh topics up ahead. People potentially being unaliving, like, you know, being dead and drugs and stuff. So just be careful, chat.
into a family's worst nightmare with cameras.
That's in 4 days. Oh shit!
We wanna
It's
be
today the
respectful
18th.
of what they're
Holy.
experiencing, but also convey something that happens every day around America in a real way. So we'll see you on the scene.
Swifty, sadly you can't imagine dying. It's not something your brain can comprehend. That's what I've heard. I mean, I can't imagine dying.
Right now the victim is still present, so we're gonna allow you guys to come in, just kind of keep a distance. We'll be collecting a bunch of things. I think that would be very good, and like as far as the recording and stuff.
Who are you and what do you do? What's your role?
So I am Sergeant Kay Cruz. I am with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. I'm a part of the Narcotics Overdose Death Investigations Unit.
We are allowed
This
to
is
cross
so
the
sad,
threshold and
bro.
film inside the
Yeah. Just
Could we have
don't.
Chat, for me it's like
Yes.
kids. I just
Yeah,
don't.
and
I
then
just don't like the
that's
kids,
also why I was
bro.
speaking to the next
Like,
of kin,
kids shouldn't be
because I didn't
involved
want
in
her to
this
get
shit.
buzzed
Let it be to
media
adults.
kid. So I was explaining to her
Yeah, Mason, on your birthday, give me all the subs.
the reasoning for you guys being here.
Yeah, I
and,
just can't be asked changing
helping,
it.
you know,
Swifted.
produce information to give out to, the public to hopefully prevent future overdoses for overdose awareness.
As you enter a
What's
scene,
amazing?
what are you looking for? What are you gonna?
So the very beginning of our investigation
Is that what it
the
says?
patrol response. Anytime patrol responds to a undetermined death,
never seen
depending
that show.
on the evidence on scene,
says ye
determine
mr0ok, so stream Saturday is at 5 p.m. if not, or if so PLS ping me in DC or DMs.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
determines what unit will
I don't know
come
what
out
that is.
to conduct the death investigation. The initial investigation, we're unable to determine what the actual cause of death is. When we respond to the scene, there's kind of two different investigations going on. You have your medical examiner's office investigation, and you also have your Jacksonville Sheriff's Office investigation. The medical examiner's office will do all the medical related stuff. So they're
Chat, I
doing
wouldn't mind a job like
toxicology,
that.
and they're
It
actually
seemed kinda
going
cool,
to
no?
determine the actual cause of death. We are conducting the sheriff's
Chat, is this
office
job not
investigation.
cool, or is that just
So
me?
with any individual, or if an individual provides a controlled substance to an individual that is a substantial factor in their death, they can be held liable.
And we know that, or we're trying to figure that out?
We're trying to figure that out. Again, very initial stages of the investigation. We're processing the scene with the crime scene unit.
Nah, Keish, I'm chilling.
And also we're working with the medical examiner's office. We're collecting any evidence that may assist our investigation.
Keish, we're watching some anime live on Twitch on Saturday, bro. Yeah, so
why
in
have
case
you wearing a mask
watch.
to the scene?
We wear those to protect our identities because a lot of us work in an undercover capacity, so that's why we wear the mask, because we're out in the public. So we just try to conceal our identities from members of the public, because you never know if someone here at the scene provided drugs to the victim,
Solo level in
or
chat.
if any of these people could potentially be
chat. Hey, yo, look at the drip. Chat, he matching the color, bro. Yo, peep the drip real quick. Yo, chat, peep the drip. Hold on. Why is he matching my colors?
Or drug dealer for a case that we encounter later.
It's all
Is
good.
it
It's all good, bro.
possible that you might find the dealer, you might do an undercover buy from the same dealer that sold here?
Yes, it's possible.
Because that way you're familiar with the case.
Yes.
Have you ever been in a sketchy situation?
A lot of them.
Explain one of them.
I've been locked in hotel rooms with drug dealers before. Sometimes they'll do that to make sure like no one's coming in behind you, so you're in there with them trying to buy drugs, and they'll lock the doors behind you. You know, they have guns on them. They have drugs there. There was a case in Miami recently where they made an undercover actually smoke fentanyl just to say that he wasn't an undercover.
Did he pass away?
No, he did not.
He had to smoke fentanyl to... Yo, GG's, bro. I ain't gonna do that. Chat, if I'm in a drug dealer's house, which, not that I've not been before, but like, I've not. That's just a joke. Just a joke. But chat, if they said, yo, smoke fentanyl to prove you're not a cop, to prove you're not a fed, I'm like, all right. I am not smoking no fucking fentanyl, bro.
Referring to is an insane story that just happened a couple weeks ago. A Miami fentanyl dealer got suspicious of an undercover agent and gave the guy two options. You either smoke this fentanyl
low-key, I
and
don't
die,
know what
or
that
I'm
show
gonna
is
kill
about,
you
so I don't know.
anyways. Terrified, the agent had no choice but to hit the Chinese import in front of the dealer. Somehow he survived, and SWAT raided these guys soon after. And it just goes to highlight the incredible danger of this undercover profession.
He had to smoke
I've had
fentanyl,
drug
bro.
dealers before try to get me to smoke drugs, and it's just, you know, it can be pretty dangerous and sketchy. Pretty much this entire career is pretty dangerous.
What got you into it?
When I was little, I really liked the show Cops. Okay, and I'm not from Jacksonville, but when I was little, I used to watch the episodes, and I remember as a kid seeing the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office episodes and being like, that area in particular, I don't know why, stuck with me, and I was like, that looks like a pretty crazy place to live.
Yo, W cop, bro.
We talked to, prior to making entry, we're talking to patrol to provide us with their information that they collected upon their initial response. We're talking to any next of kin that are on scene, and we're also talking to any complainants or witnesses. We're just trying to gather what happened before police were called to the scene. For this particular structure, the room where the victim was located is from the back. You guys can follow me and we'll go inside.
Bro, that's cooked. That forehead is massive. Chat, you know what else is massive?
What are the primary things we're looking for? Where are your eyes going right now?
So eyes are going in the immediate area where the victim was located.
That's not a bad bedroom.
Common areas of the house, living room, bathroom. We're checking for any
Chat, that's not a bad bedroom.
narcotics
It's not a bad house,
and any additional narcotics or any paraphernalia to
Y'all played two different sounds. Anyway, see you later, Swifted. See you later, bro.
I've been working narcotics.
Chat, blurps are muted right now, so if you try to use a blurb, it's gonna be mute.
I've been working narcotics overdose death investigations for approximately 3.5, 4 years.
What got you into the overdose unit?
3.5, 4 years is a long ass time, bro.
I noticed that.
Yo, she's stealing his hat. Yo, she's stealing his hoodie, bro.
Homicide was responding to these types of investigations. And prior, this was kind of before it became we fell under the Florida State statute of murder. Once we started falling under that Florida State statute, we were able to dig deeper into different types of investigations.
Yeah, that's
Florida lawmakers are not alone in expressing the sentiment that a drug dealer should be subjected to harsh penalties, particularly if they can be tied to an overdose death. In fact, just recently, Trump made headlines again by stating his long-term position that drug dealers should receive the death penalty.
Unless you have the death penalty for drug dealers, you don't have to get rid of the drug problem. Put that through your head.
As someone who
Ooh,
knows
I
the
don't know.
drug dealing black market much
Death
better than
penalty for
Trump,
drug
I think
dealers?
the
I
numbers
don't know.
he's throwing out are extreme exaggerations that have no root or basis in fact.
I don't know.
A drug dealer will kill 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people during the course of his or her life.
It really depends on what someone's selling. If someone is sold fentanyl, obviously they have a much higher chance of causing an overdose death. But for some guy trapping weed, it is actually impossible that anyone has died as a result of his drug. It says on the DEA's own website that no one has overdosed from marijuana, and yet it's still a Schedule I drug. However, I do agree that a drug dealer needs to be held liable if what he
I don't
sells
think
kills
death
someone.
penalty
The question is,
Death
to what
penalty is
extent?
crazy. Yeah,
What
like
do you guys
insane
think in the comments?
insane
Should a
jail
drug dealer
sentence.
be
Yes.
given a death sentence if they cause an overdose death.
I found
death
interest
sentence? I don't
in
know.
Not only giving closure to the family of the victims, but putting all the pieces together to try and determine who actually sold illegal drugs to the victim.
How many calls like this a week do you typically respond to?
The overdoses, they come in waves. There are times that we can get 10 in a week. There are times that we can get 0. There's no way to determine how many call-outs a week that we're going to get. Crime scene units here,
I don't think so.
The narcotics overdose detectives are here. They are taking photographs. They're looking around, pointing out or trying to locate any evidence that may be narcotics related. They are waiting for the medical examiner's office to arrive. Once the medical examiner's office arrived, that's kind of where we're now dividing into like 2 investigations, but we work very close together. Like I said, I think the more information we get out there to the public, make aware that it's not only fentanyl. Yes, fentanyl, that's what we're hearing in the news. It's a dangerous,
fentanyl is
deadly
crazy,
drug,
but people forget, like she's saying, people
any
forget crack
illegal
cocaine, like that shit still
substance
exists.
can
Meth.
cause a death.
Well, thank you for what you do.
Yeah, thank you.
Some
Honestly,
Americans
W
would say,
woman,
hey,
bro.
alcohol is
This
legal,
guy has
alcohol
aura.
is
This
a problem.
this
If you look at
gentleman here, this
domestic
cop.
disputes, violence,
He just
fighting,
gives off aura.
drunkenness, DUIs.
I don't know
Yet
why.
That's
I just
a huge
feel it.
multi-billion-dollar industry. Why should weed be any different?
Because why add to it? Or why add to the problem that alcohol already causes?
Because prohibition
For real.
doesn't work. The
I
war on
agree.
drugs has not solved since the 70s the issues of drugs in our community.
So let me ask you this question. Because we should legalize marijuana because people like to smoke it, we should legalize cocaine, methamphetamine, we should legalize fentanyl, we should legalize all
Weed's
those things?
different,
No,
though.
of course
Weed's-
not.
weed's
Just
different.
because people like it, there are certain things that you just shouldn't do, and I think the government should uphold a standard.
There are certain
what
benefits
gave
to
you
weed,
reason
though,
to believe that this
especially
could
when it
be a
comes to like
narcotic overdose in the first
the
place?
medical side of it.
So, based off the evidence that is located at the scene of a death, so for this particular incident, there is narcotics paraphernalia and additional narcotics on scene. We cannot on scene determine the cause of death. That will be for the medical examiner's office investigation.
when they check his body and shit,
Because of
yeah.
the evidence that is located on the scene, we want to get a jumpstart in our investigation. So the van actually pulled up super close, and we're keeping family further out, so it should be okay.
R.I.P. Chad. Nah, for real. You may not know this person. You may not know. You may not even. You may not remember this video, but
just like anything,
a person still
The more
died.
that you
Chad.
see it, the more that you adapt to it.
Person
And
still
like I
passed
said,
away,
with
bro.
these
Rest in peace, man.
investigations, it affects the family more than anything.
Chad, you know what's crazy though? Chad, you know what's crazy? Some people will live a regular life, and in their personal life, Chad, they're like a drug addict. Chad, have you seen people like Chad? You know what's crazy? Ain't that crazy? You could literally see someone, talk to them every day. They look like a normal person, but deep down, they're smoking heroin, bro. They're injecting heroin, smoking crack cocaine, bro. Yeah, happy birthday, Keisha. I wish you a happy birthday when it comes to your day, bro. We'll sing happy birthday. We'll sing happy birthday. But yeah, bro, rest in peace to the gentleman, bro.
I think this just goes to show how one death can affect so many people. It's such a ripple effect.
Right.
As you hear the family in the background, I think.
Because Chad, they might not have known he was a drug addict. They might not have known that.
For this type of job.
Men are
And
just
there's-
too. Men are just
and the
too
fact that
men.
people like you are boots on the
They
ground.
don't talk to people.
and
We don't
see some of
like
this look
communicate
death
how
in
we
the
feel
face
sometimes.
Almost on a daily
And
basis.
that's why a lot of men do
sometimes and have to
drugs.
deal with families
to feel that
and
escape.
all the thing that come with it. I mean,
Right, I will say that making that next of kin notification is the worst part about our job, because we're having to tell a loved one that their loved one is no longer here.
what I've seen in my own family. And there's not one person with the reach drugs has. You could be in a mansion or you could be in the poorest of the poor. There's not one family in America that probably doesn't have some impact of drugs hitting their family or alcoholism
drugs
hitting their
are
family.
insane, Chad. They're so easy to get.
It's just such a heavy job. And then this is the other thing is I think like this gives me perspective too, because sometimes it's easy to look at a dealer and be like, oh, he grew up in a messed up neighborhood with a messed up childhood and he's just trying to make some money to put rent on, to pay the rent. But then when it has the impact like this, that makes an entire family gather and cry, then you have a little bit more of a, well, when they get raided, you know why.
The drug dealers know. They know that they
Chad, surely the drug dealers must know that they're probably killing people. And I don't understand how you can live with that, Chad. I never Chad, I couldn't do a job where I know, okay, if I do this, someone's probably gonna die because of me. I could never do that, bro.
Drug. They know what they are selling, so that is why they should be held accountable for what they are selling.
I don't agree with the death penalty, Chad. I don't agree with Trump
inside
on
their
that.
heart that knows when something is right or wrong, and to override that just so you can pay rent, even though you can cause devastation to an entire family.
Possibly, Mason. Possibly.
And one dealer might have. I mean, do you encounter
multiple
dealers?
Customers.
Do you ever encounter dealers that you guys arrest that are tied to multiple deaths?
Yes.
Yeah, this really helped me change my perspective on drug dealing. I mean, there's so much that comes with this. There's family members that have to pay for the funeral. There's how many people had to call off work
Bob,
to
yes.
leave here and
Mason,
come.
sometimes people just want to watch instead of type.
Their lives can be permanently altered by the grief. I mean, I've seen that in my own family very well. Just in today's episode, the fact that a dad is selling crack cocaine next to his baby.
Chat, deep that chat. He was selling crack cocaine next to his baby, bro. I just don't understand, bro.
We landed this scene over here, has passed away, and the family's crying.
Yeah, Paper Girl's an OG, chat. Paper Girl's an OG, if you know, you know.
I mean, for the detectives, they have to collect bodies and investigate, and then the people that have to risk their life to go undercover to do the work to catch these guys, that's more of a risk than most of us are willing to take. It's an honest job, it pays the bills, and these are people that go to bat for us in our community. So, a really interesting perspective of how Jacksonville is fighting the flow of drugs through their city. That was a deep dive into the world of Jacksonville crime fighting and the drug division, their narcotics division. Thank you for joining.
Now that was really
amazing.
Chat.
Appreciate you guys.
Jacksonville Police W, bro.
Thank you.
Folks, you just saw a glimpse of what Jacksonville law enforcement does. And next week, we'll dive even deeper, doing a night patrol episode that involves a kidnapping call, going out on a mission with a K9
kidnapping call. This next episode gonna be hype.
Live burglary in action, and much, much more. We will also take a deeper look at the secret sauce that has driven Jacksonville to be a place where the homicide rate has dropped in half.
So the murder rate dropped by 50%. That's
insane. Across the country. And folks, a reminder, if you want to pick up the freshest merch on YouTube with the Underworld collection,
N-word pass merch.
My website link is in the description. And finally, if you want to become a Patreon subscriber for extended cuts, exclusive clips, and see things weeks before the episode drops, that is also in the description. Both greatly help support the channel, and I am grateful for your support. Love you guys. See you next week.
Now, chat, police in the US are built different, but not all police, not all places. Jacksonville is a W for this, for real. Jacksonville a W, chat. Jacksonville, honestly, a major W. Hey. It's clear you like this video. There's one right here as well. Why don't you watch this one too? Come on, watch it. Press it, bruh.
Yo, they still ain't pressed the
Well, that's what I'm saying. They ain't pressing it, bro.